Okay, let's deal with these fee objections with owners that say words along the lines of, I can't afford you, or what's your best offer, or I can see that you are better, but you are more expensive. And I'm probably just going to pull some things out of the book here, the PM Fee Script Secrets book. If you haven't got it, make sure you get it. It's an essential textbook for you, particularly when you're dealing with everyone that wants a discount, all right? Or they're asking for a discount, or they're saying, but the other agent is cheaper, or if you can match your management fee with the other agent down the road, and so forth. Okay, this book's going to help you. Just go to igtcentral.com. The book is free. We've paid for the printing. All you've got to do is pay for the shipping. So igtcentral.com, you'll see all of our books and our podcasts there. Okay, so let's just deal with these here. So for example, I can't afford you. At the end of the day, you just need to point out to the owner, when they're generally saying that, you can say, look, Mr. Smith, I sense perhaps you've never had a property managed before. And I don't know whether that's the case or not, but we've had owners that thought that it was right to take their property to a cheaper agent because, hey, you're saving money, right? But they went to an agency which was cheap. They couldn't afford to pay their staff properly. There's a big high turnover of staff, poor service, and I've had owners that come back to me in pain. We had an owner last week that came to us, this happened, and it cost him $2,000. A lot more than the $312 a year he thought he was saving, or something like that, at 1% discount a week. So I understand, but for your peace of mind, it's best to pay that little bit more. And by the way, the difference between us and the other agent down the road is generally 1%. That's $6 a week. It's a cup of coffee. That's all we're talking here. All right. And if you feel that a cup of coffee, is too much, come in once a week and I'll buy you one. Tongue-in-cheek comment. Okay, moving on. Now, also, what's your best offer? Now, we've got scripts in here. Look, Mr. Smith, if you're wanting us to go down on our fees like that, what does that say about our ability to negotiate? And if your tenant comes along and wants to negotiate on your rent, if we're easy to drop on our fees, what do you think then will happen when we've got to negotiate your rent? All right? It's quite telling, isn't it, that it's going to expose our poor negotiation skills. So that's why we've got to get full fees, so you have full confidence in us that we're going to get you the maximum rent. You can use a script like that. That's also in the PM Fee Script Secrets book as well. All right, now what's the next one? I can see that you are better, but you are more expensive. More expensive than who? All right. Generally, when they talk expensive, they're talking about the management fee. And again, they're talking about a 1% difference. Remember, when they're throwing lines at you, they have moved into fee negotiation mode. They're going to come out with something. That's the best that they can come out with at that time. But if we're more expensive, Mr. Smith, is it just a cup of coffee that we're talking? Because that's generally how much more expensive than we are with the other agents down the road. They're generally about 1% cheaper. Some of them are actually more expensive, but we're only talking a cup of coffee a week. If it's $600 a week, we're talking $6. That's a cup of coffee. Did you know that? So start demystifying and start pulling that apart as well. Or we again pull out our horror stories. Yes, Mr. Smith, I understand, but you're comparing us against cheap agents, not quality agents. I had an owner last week that came to us. He thought he was doing the right thing by saving money and going to that cheap agent to start with, and realizing he's in a world of pain because this happened. That agency couldn't afford to pay their staff. Quality property managers refused to work on a discount salary. And so they had this massive cycle of staff, inexperienced staff, and it cost him a lot of money. In fact, it cost him $2,200 or something like that because he thought he was there to save money. But there is a problem always when you go with a cheap agent. You know the saying, you get what you pay for. All right, so there's some bits and pieces there that I've pulled out of the book, the PM Fee Script Secrets, but it's important. Just like me, I know the scripts, they came out believable, didn't they? I had the confidence because I've learnt them. Make sure you get the book. Take care.